Okay, next caller is on. Caller, welcome to Tanakh Talk. Thanks for being patient. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Pinchas from Los Angeles.
Pinchas, how are you? It's good to have you back. How are you?
Fine.
What's the question for Rabbi?
Well, actually, I have a few questions, if that's okay with you.
I'll tell you what, I'll take both questions. We'll probably only have time to get to one of them, though, so put your priority question up front.
Okay, my first question is, why don't Jews believe Muhammad is the prophet of God? Why don't Jews accept Muhammad as the prophet of God? My second question, is it true that it says in the Quran that the Jews have the most animosity towards the Muslims of all unbelievers?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's very interesting about the Quran.
All right. Now, you notice, guys, that when the guy, he asked him the question, peace of Christ first to all, when he asked him the question, he was happy before he started asking the question. And then when he said to him, why you don't believe then that Muhammad is a prophet of God? You notice right away how his face changed. Let me go back and I will zoom in his face. Look how smiling he is, how happy he is. The second he will say to him, why you don't believe Muhammad is a prophet of God? Look how his face will change.
What's the question for Rabbi?
Well, actually, I have a few questions, if that's okay with you.
I'll tell you what, I'll take both questions. We'll probably only have time to get to one of them, though, so put your priority question up front.
Okay, my first question is, why don't Jews believe Muhammad is the prophet of God? Why don't Jews accept Muhammad as the prophet of God? My second question, is it true that it says in the Quran that the Jews have the most animosity towards the Muslims of all unbelievers?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's very interesting about the Quran that it actually speaks about the Jewish people with great esteem.
Yeah. We got you busted just a second ago. You are the biggest scumbag ever. The question is, why you don't believe in Muhammad as a prophet? And then he will start calling Paul names. What does have to do with Paul? What does have to do with the Christians? Why you are calling the Christians and Paul names? Do you dare to say that Jesus is a false prophet? You don't dare. Not because you believe in Jesus, but because you are a hypocrite man who will not dare to make the Muslims angry. This is why you have the courage to speak against Paul, but you have no courage to speak against Jesus. But yet you don't believe in Jesus. But he is just sharing or looking for common sense with Muslims, like, we hate Paul, you hate Paul, so let us hate Paul together. Let me get you busted, Abdul. Let me go first where he speak about Paul.
It's the Hadith, the Sunnah, and so on, is subordinate to the Quran. And Muslims use the Quran as a measuring rod to judge whether the sayings of Muhammad, the Hadith, and the biography of Muhammad, the Sunnah, they measure that against the Quran. And if any biography disagrees with the Quran, Muslims will throw out the way. In fact, I don't want to go into this. It's a very in
fact, they are a stupid liar. That's not true, because there's many things Muhammad he said it abrogate the Quran. Look like this idiot do not know. There's a hadith which abrogate the Quran, which means hadith can be a higher authority than the Quran itself. As an example, in the Quran it says you do muta. There's no verse in the Quran that says the muta is abrogated, which is sex contract for fun. The abrogation come in the hadith. As an example, the Quran says the prayer is a 3. In the hadith it says 5. The abrogation is in the hadith. So you are a stupid idiot who do not know what he's talking about, claiming to have knowledge. Now, where is the answer about why you don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet? He will not answer.
Complicated area, but there are thousands of hadith, but many of them Muslims correctly, they're very discerning in this, that they want to know, is this the hadith essentially, is this the reported?
What does have to do with the topic? Is asking you about the hadith now? Are you going to give him a speech about the hadith? The question is, why you don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet. I want to call this scumbag. I want to get his phone number and get him busted live on air, if this is really live. All right?
They're right. So what you find in the Quran is a criticism of the Jews, not the worst people. Are you kidding? The Jew,
not the worst people. Are you kidding? The Quran doesn't say they are the worst people. The Quran doesn't say that. Are you kidding? Let me get you busted, you filthy scumbag. Is this the Quran or not? Let us see. Let us go back. Quran. Here we go. The Quran doesn't say they are the worst people. No, it doesn't say that. Chapter 98, verse number 6. What a scumbag liar you are. Do you see it? They are the worst of the creatures. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Quran doesn't say the Jews are the worst of the creatures. Are you kidding me? I'm here to get you busted. I will make it a joke of everybody in the internet. You will not see this guy there even to insult Jesus once, for a very simple reason, because he cannot make the Muslims angry. The question is why you don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet. He started blah 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 blah, and the Quran never said the Jews are the worst of the creatures. Are you kidding me? It doesn't say that. Where? Nowhere. It doesn't say that. You know, when a donkey he speak, I think the mule have to listen. If we go right now to chapter the chapter we are reading from, chapter 98, and read verse number 7, we can read right away what the chapter is saying. But look here, this guy in the video, he said the Quran condemns some of the Jews who says that Israel is a son of the son of God, and all the Muslim scholars, they say that some of the Jews says that. All the scholars, they say that. Where? I want you to hear it. Hold on.
Muhammad says, look what's been given to you. What's been the covenant that was made to you at Mount Sinai? God gave it to you. Why aren't you keeping Shabbos? You know, you find this all over. And yes, we get criticism, of course, in Surah 5. How come they come? Why are they coming to you, meaning Muhammad in brackets, for a judgment about the Torah? That's what he says. That God gave it to them. What do they need it? Why are they doing it? So he's angry with them. But look at this Paul, what he did, what this Shmendrik did.
See? The question is why Muhammad is the prophet. Suddenly he is talking about everything except Muhammad being a prophet or not. Now we want to talk about Paul. Let's see.
Paul saying, don't keep the Torah. It's been a curse. It's been done. Jesus fulfilled the law.
I challenge you, scumbag, to show me where it says that Paul, he said that. I challenge you. It's a challenge. You're a coward and you're a potato.
For the thing. So no way in the world. I'm not saying to you that Judaism and Islam are identical. I'm not going to play games, but I want you to know something. If you study, I'm saying if you study the Quran, which is the sacred document of Islam, and every other document, whether it's the Hadith, the Sunnah, and so on, is subordinate to the Quran. And Muslims use the Quran as a measuring rod to judge whether the sayings of Muhammad, the Hadith, and the biography of Muhammad, the Sunnah, they measure that against the Quran. And if any biography disagrees with the Quran,
no, what does have to do with the question? What's wrong with this guy? What is the answer?
But there are thousands of hadith, but many of them Muslims correctly. They're very discerning in this. That they want to know.
Yeah.
Is this the hadith? Essentially, is this the reported?
Are you going to give us a lesson about the hadith now? The question is why you don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet. All this blah blah to avoid answering the question. 10 minutes is gone of his video, and yet there's no answer why he don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet, because he will not answer.
Things of Muhammad. And in fact, when it comes to the hadith, there actually has to be contained in it an exact detail attached to it of who said it first and the chain of tradition of the last person who said it. They make sure that
can you tell us more about the hadith? Potato. Hold on. What does this have to do with the question? Are you going to give us a lesson in the hadith right now? Are you a scholar in the hadith right now? Suppose you are a rabbi and the guy he asks you a question why you don't want to believe in Muhammad as a prophet. You look like a raccoon playing in a circle, and you will not give us the answer why you don't believe in Muhammad as a prophet.
Every single person in this chain was contemporaneous with each other. They lived in the same time. They lived in the same place. There's actually roughly there are different schools of thought.
Let's move the video because I want to see what he will say. The answer.
Capital, largest Islamic country in the world. We have not every Shabbos, but practically every Shabbos, we have Muslims that come to our Sabbath service, and we study Torah with Muslims a whole day on Shabbos. On Shavuos, we're going to have many Muslims.
Guys, Muslims they study Sabbath. Muslims they study the Torah. What a scumbag liar! I want you to show me a video of the Muslims coming with you to study the Torah.
Muslims coming. We had our Passover Seder's and news all over the world. We had imams coming, and so on. And I have dear friends in this country. We sit down and they cry on my shoulder for what is done in the name of it. They cry. They say, "Rabbi, help us," because they're going, what the heck is happening in the name of Islam? Okay, it's very now it's very important. I'm going to be just straight honest. I don't want to play games. The Quran, and by the way, not just the Quran, any book that can be used, a passage or a text, it is
stupid idiot. Let me get this guy busted because he will not answer. You can play his video. He said that some of the Jews only, according to the Quran, they worship a guy, his name is Uzair, and nobody he ever know that he worship Uzair. And he said all the scholars agree that some of the Jews, not all the Jews, the fact this is a big fat lie, and this is the interpretation of Al-Jalalain in front of your eyes. The Quran says clearly that the Jews say Israel is the son of God, and the Christian they say the Messiah is the son of God, and Allah cursed them both. You are a scumbag liar. The same we can find in Ibn Kathir interpretation. Now, as long you are speaking about Paul, you idiot, you keep calling Paul names, saying we and the Muslims, both of us, we hate Paul. He's a disgusting person. You know, this guy, if he knows, I will call him one day. I will call him. I will try to find his phone number. I will call him, and I will show him that the Muslims believe that Paul is a prophet of Allah, and then you will see how his face color will change. This is the verse he mentioned to us, that the Jews, some of the Jews, according to the interpretation, some of them, they worship a guy, his name is Uzair. This is not what the scholars they say, and you are a big fat liar. This is Ibn Kathir. It says clearly the Jews, not some of the Jews. And regarding Paul, Paul is a messenger of Allah. Only stupid Muslims who do not know their religion, they speak against Paul because they are copy-paste. They heard the dad saying that, so they copy-paste. But in the front of us, this is Ibn Kathir speaking clearly that Paul is a messenger of God. This is the interpretation of the Muslims of Ibn Kathir. Read with me clearly. Ibn Juriya narrated, etc. from the names of the first two messengers were Sham'un, which mean Simon, and Yohanna, which mean John, and the name of the third is Bolos, which mean Paul, and the city was Antakya. So the stupid idiot, he was calling Paul names, but if somebody called him and told him, do you know that the Muslims believe that Paul is a prophet of God? Only donkeys of the Muslim do not know that this is what their belief is. And he will never say why he don't believe in Muhammad as a prophet. So this guy, this is scumbag, during his program he will never insult Jesus, because he knew that the Muslims believe in Jesus as a prophet. He will never say anything against Jesus, because he knew that this will be a red line and he might lose his life. He lives in Indonesia. He don't dare to say against Muhammad anything. He don't dare to say anything against Jesus. And when they ask him why you don't believe in Muhammad, he will not answer. He call anyone names, say the Christian change, the Christian deceive, the Christian. Why you don't say we don't believe in Jesus anyway? Because simply you are a scam. You live in their country, you live in Indonesia, you are doing good business there, making good money, but yet they are so cheap even to iron your cheap curtains, which is obviously like 5 cents curtain, you get them from $1 store. And you claim to be a rabbi. And the Quran did not say the Jews are the worst of the creatures. Are you kidding me? I like it when he said that. Allah, he hate the Jews. This is in chapter 5 verse number 64. Allah, he placed hate and enmity against them until the judgment day. Allah cursed the Jews, and Allah, he says the most enemy for the Muslims are those who call themselves Jews. Allah, he said the Jews are the worst of the creatures. The Muslims are the best of the creatures. The Muslims are the best of the creatures, and the Jews are the worst of the creatures. And every Muslim have a duty to kill any Jew until the judgment day. Yet this filthy coward, he don't want to say what Muhammad said and what the Quran said, and he keep defending Islam, for he is a scumbag. I offer him to debate me, but this coward will never do so, because he knew exactly what will happen. Please feel free to download my videos and share it with your friends, and you can find always my videos in minds.com. You will find the link under the video info. You can click on it and you can join me there. All my videos which is not in YouTube will be listed there. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you. And we have a very hard work to do to get busted those who need to be get busted. It's endless work, but somebody have to do it. Thank you, and God bless.